For all three of our couples, getting married was a culmination of a cross-cultural courtship that spanned ethnicity and, in Dawn and Richard's case, geography.
We didn't have our family come to our wedding because for Richard, they're far away from England and too much trouble for them to invite them to come. For me, they are close. They are in mainland of China. But back then, it's still difficult for them to get a visa. That was a very hot day. That was in July in Hong Kong. It was so hot, and the gentlemen were wearing jacket.
Well, yeah, it's all the suits and the boiling sun.
Yeah, we had lovely time in Hong Kong. Every time I look at our wedding photo, remind me the time in Hong Kong. It was very multicultural place. From the photo, you can see our friends and they come from different countries.
Such a mix. Hong Kong and China and Hong Kong and the UK,
and America, UK.
Meanwhile, Ian and Claire were keen to marry the traditions of both China and the West.
Our wedding is a combination of the best parts of both Western and Eastern. Yeah, so because for Western, the ceremony is that the two parties committed to each other. So we have that part. And while for the Chinese, the marriage, the wedding is about the family acceptance. So having the tea ceremony is actually the families accepting the new couples to be part of the family.
We started the day with a tea ceremony, so with Chinese accepting the marriages to give tea to the seniors of the family. So went through that, which is normally a private affair, but we did that in public. In public with all the Westerners, so they could actually start to see that. So we really had a sort of a semi-cultural wedding going on.
For Alex, the wedding day also meant clearing a few additional hurdles.
So early on for the tea ceremony, I arrived and all the bridesmaids stop you at the door and they give you a number of challenges before you're allowed in. So things like, you have to bribe them with money, you have to show them that you're strong and capable, so we had to do push-ups. I had to bargain them down a little bit and have some of the groomsmen do some as well.
In Chinese, there's sort of an equivalent of Cupid. But instead of the bow and arrow, couples that are fated to be together, they actually have a red string tied around their ankles, joining them together, and eventually via this invisible string, they'll eventually find one another. I suddenly became overwhelmed with all this emotion. I think it's just the stress of all the wedding planning, and suddenly this was it. And just even the rehearsal, I just started crying. So we decided, I think I should go first, get that over and done with, and then Alex can go. And Alex's vows were beautiful, and I wanted him to cry, but he didn't cry. He just had the most serious look on his face.
From cross-cultural marriages come cross-cultural children. 11-year-old Leo has both Chinese and English heritage. For him, two cultures make one very interesting world.
This is some of my Lego, like fire boats, police boats, ships, more ships. And this is a 40-year-old oil tanker. My dad used to have one of these. Not the exact one, but one of these. Okay, as we come over here, we see more elements. This is some of my electronics. I got the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Advanced, and the newest Nintendo product, the Nintendo 3DS.
If I could stay in any country, I'd choose Switzerland. Because I've heard that it's nice and snowy in the Alps and really countryside-y. And also, in Swiss law, I am actually allowed to live in Switzerland. My dad says my passport says I'm allowed to live in Switzerland. I have the right to live in Switzerland. So that's a possibility as well.
You see this structure. You might be confused. What is that thing? It's just like a bit of cardboard. But actually, it's a model of the Berlin Wall, if you know what that is.
If England and China were to play in this Soccer World Cup, it would just be a hard decision to pick who to barrack for. I mean, who? Who would you barrack for? That is the question.
Leo's parents are passionate advocates of cross-cultural marriages, so much so that they set up their own interracial dating site.
You know, the Asian Promise was just born out of that love that we have and we found, just knowing that we should share that with other people or make that possible for other people in the world to experience too.
Which is why Richard and Dawn, along with Ian and Claire, are more than happy to talk about their experience of cross-cultural relationships. When we first met them, they were conducting a seminar for members of Melbourne's Chinese community and helping them to better understand love and marriage in the West.
With a Western girl, Western lady, as a Western guy, you would know how that person's going to react, or if they say something, you know how to read that. But within a cross-cultural relationship, you can't assume that you understand what's just happened. You have to think, stop, not react, and to ask the questions. It makes the relationship much stronger because you're communicating more than an Eastern or a Western. You're communicating, you're thinking, you're talking, you're understanding, and you're building a better relationship.
It's okay to say there's Chinese culture and there's Western culture, but they can be very, very different things. And within the Western culture, there's many, many different languages spoken, many different cultures, and that needs just as much work as a cross-cultural relationship as in Chinese Western.
It's important to say that relationships aren't about words, and it's not about culture. It's about the people. And culture and words are just two parts of many parts that make up a relationship. And too much emphasis is put on words or culture. They're just two segments.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this makes you have a stronger relationship than you would with somebody of your own culture, because you learn to understand yourself, you learn to understand the other culture. And I think if you have two people that want to work at doing this, that it can work really, really well. I guess when you become to a cross-cultural relationship, you've got the perspective of taking what I might say is a normal relationship in a 2D format to a 3D format. So you can actually now take it that extra level where you've got a whole heap of now colour, variations and opportunities. If you embrace those, they can help out the family. A lot of people can benefit from that and can add a lot of depth to a relationship. Nothing's saying that the other relationships aren't fine, it just adds another level.
Cross-cultural relationship is a very good way for people to understand different culture.
Communication, that's the real key.
But the fundamentals are the same. On any level in a relationship, it's two people communicating and working together.
Cross-cultural relationship, particularly one where people are coming from speaking different languages as their primary languages, then that's just even more important than in a relationship where the people are coming from the same culture.
I also think cross-cultural relationship is a very good bridge to bring people together in the world. So I think cross-cultural relationship is a very good topic for people to talk and to learn. Yeah.
In the next episode of Love Knows No Bounds, we meet Jason and Marcella and discover the day-to-day realities of married life across the cultural divide.
I think the power of love can take you a long way, but the seed of doubt can create a big rift.